for me, at that exact time, marked the last time I took the long commute in my car from where I live, Waterloo, to my office, to my then job at a company called Quanser, which is northeast of Toronto. The drive was fairly challenging. It took about an hour and a half each way, and I did that for 8-9 years. Now, when the pandemic was declared, it did mark the last time I did that commute, and certainly there was some relief from that, but of course not a lot of relief because we were all in for a fair bit of pain. But one of the things that did happen following that was me making the big decision to leave my job after almost a decade. And it was an amazing job. We did such cool things. And the people were so good. Probably the best group of people I've ever worked with. In any case, I made the painful decision to move from there to what I really considered and still do consider a dream job. My job as a professor at McMaster University. And as great as that was, one of the sad parts of it is, of course, I lost contact with my friends at Quanser. But in any case, today I'm actually going to get back together with a few of them, and including my very close friend, CEO of Quanser, Paul Gilbert. But since I left, maybe because I left, the presence in this city, they had a little bit of a presence before. In fact, I was some part of it part-time, but we had at that time a small office, but today it has grown significantly, and I'm going to make a visit to them. So here I am walking through what's called Waterloo Park. Beautiful, beautiful area, blending in sort of the traditional heritage, the historical heritage of this area with some of the modern developments of the scientific and tech cultures that's emerged over the past couple of decades. In any case, I'm going to make a visit and see some old friends that I haven't seen for a long time. And that's actually a very pleasant way to spend a day, because last week was somewhat significant. I had my post-surgical consultation with my oncologist, and it went well. No surprises. In addition to my recovery going well from the lung resection that I received, they did absolutely confirm that the growth that was removed was malignant, and the pathology analysis deduced that what I have now is stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. So there's no ambiguities about it. This, in some sense, formalizes the start of the next phase of my life with this disease. Nothing has really changed from all the things that I've talked about before. It's just that somebody has now declared it official, just as the health organization declared the pandemic official. The more severe form of my disease is now official. Does that change anything for me? Probably. My thoughts on this are somewhat more, I guess, somber, more reflective than it might have been when I was just simply in the mode of fighting an initial disease with reasonable possibility of what they call a cure. Now things are different, and I'm not going to go into the gory details, but the probable outcomes or long-term prospects of a cancer that has metastasized, it's fundamentally different. Anyways, something that I'm going to have to live with for the next while, however long that while is. For the last little while, I've been talking a fair bit about how to regain my optimism, and a lot of times from reflecting on what good has happened in the past. And that still works, and there is absolutely no shortage of joy that I get from thinking about what all has happened. But one of the things that I'm doing a little bit more of is a more explicit approach, I guess, to the reality of the situation. Now that it's real in many sense, and it's been formally declared as real, all of the more unpleasant scenarios enter one's mind. And, you know, I'm not, as much as I'd like to think that I have all this strength and resilience, it gets to you, right? So one of the ways that I have learned to deal with it, at least for today, is 5 simple words. Today is not the day. That's it. And let me explain that a little bit. I still have maintained some sense of sanity. I think I have my head screwed on fairly well, but I know that it will change one day. And as I mentioned to people, at some point in the foreseeable future, I gotta think I'm going to start unraveling. And this is a pretty heavy-duty situation that I have inherited, and I suspect it will get to me. But today is not that day, and it's as simple as that. Today is not that day. It is spring, or at least in Canada, it could be what we call false spring. That little bit of a tease of spring that you get before it wallops you with another winter storm. But in any case, it's going to go up to plus 15 degrees. It's about 10 right now. I'm taking a really, really nice long walk through one of my favorite parts of the city, and I'm going to see some friends that I have not seen in a long time. What could be better than that to spend the day? So, today is the day for doing things that are undeniably positive and soul building. On Friday, I have my follow-up post-surgery consultation with the surgeon, who will then advise me whether he believes it's a good idea to proceed with the resection or the lobectomy of my other lung, after which I would have lost about half the lung mass. So that's a pretty big deal as well, and I don't know what I'm going to be like after I get through that discussion and then the procedure, but today is not that day. So with that, I'll say goodbye, and I will see you again soon. Bye.